everybody. If you remember me, my name is Miss Summer, and I'm so excited to read this book with you guys. It's a really, really great book, and I really think you guys are going to enjoy it. So this book is called 8 Days Gone, and it's by Linda McReynolds. Let's get started. Oh, there's 3 astronauts. Hundreds gather. Hot July. Spaceship ready, set to fly. Launch pad countdown, smoke and flame, rumbling, blasting, seizing fame. Rocket orbits, engines fire, toward the moon, soaring higher. Shrinking planet, streaming fast, starry darkness, sprawling fast. Fasten helmets, gloves and boots, backpacks, air tanks, bulky suits. Spacecraft readied, system checks, lunar module disconnects. Michael Collins stays with ship, waits, observing, tracking trip. Nation watching, bated breath, eagle landing, life or death. Armstrong makes his one small step, giant leap from years of prep. Edwin Aldrin hops around, boot prints left on ashen ground. So where do you think they're at? Where does it look like they're at? It looks like it's kind of ashy looking. Guess where it says ashen, so it's kind of ashy looking. It looks like it's got some craters in there. So what do we know that has craters? Some good guesses. I think it is the moon. Desolation, silent, dark, tranquil sea, barren, stark. So let's talk about the barren right here for a second. This word right here. So this word basically means that there's no life. So on the moon is where they're at. So when it says barren, it means there's no life on the moon. The astronauts that are on the moon are the only life that's there. Haul equipment, careful test, exploration, lunar quest. Snapping pictures, planting flag, soil samples, rocks in bags. So it looks like they're collecting, they're taking some pictures of the moon, they're planting the American flag there, they're bringing back some samples, they got some soil samples, some rocks, all prepared to go back to Earth. Eagle docking, mission ends, journey home to family, friends. Swiftly speeding, Earth ahead, ship arriving, news is spread. So that means everybody knows on Earth that they are on their way back, that so far the mission has been successful. Ocean splashdown, heroes seen, helicopter, quarantine. So we definitely know about this word right here, right? Quarantine. Quarantine's when you have to kind of stay away from other people, isolate yourself. So I wonder why they're having to quarantine. Brave explorers, safe return. Data gathered, so much to learn. Lunar Mission reached new heights, paved the way for future flights. All right, so we're going to read this little author's note to find out a little bit more information. So on July 16th, 1969, the Apollo 11 mission to the moon began with the launch of Saturn V rocket from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. After being thrust, that means thrown into space, the command module, Columbia, and the lunar module, Eagle, were separated from the rocket and headed for the moon. On board were 3 astronauts. You remember in the beginning, you saw the 3 astronauts. So one of them was Neil Armstrong, Edwin Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. On July 20th, the Eagle detached from Columbia and made its descent to the lunar surface. That means they were on their way to the moon. So Collins remained aboard Columbia, orbiting the moon. That means he was just in the moon's orbit. He was just circling the moon. While the other two astronauts landed on Eagle on an area of moon called the Sea of Tranquility. Armstrong and Aldrin performed scientific tests and collected samples of soil and rock. After 2.5 hours, the astronauts planted an American flag as a reminder of their visit and left the lunar surface. Eagle rejoined Columbia, so that means the piece that Armstrong and Aldrin were in, and then the piece that Michael Collins was in, they rejoined each other. So once Columbia re-entered the Earth's atmosphere, parachutes opened and safely lowered the module into the Pacific Ocean. The crew was picked up by a helicopter and taken to the USS Hornet, a nearby recovery ship. So because traveling of the moon had never been done before, scientists were uncertain whether it would have any negative effects on humans. So if it would have any kind of if it would make astronauts sick after traveling. So the astronauts were put in quarantine until it was determined that they were not sick from their journey. So that's why they were put in quarantine. So that way, if they had any negative effects, like if they were sick from traveling to the moon, that they wouldn't get other people sick, so they quarantined them. While in quarantine, the heroes were visited by President Richard M. Nixon. So they were visited by the President of the United States at the time. That is amazing. Although the entire mission lasted only 8 days, its historic nature makes it one of the most famous missions of the space program. It also fulfilled President John F. Kennedy's dream of sending a man to the moon and bringing him safely back to Earth before the end of the 1960s. So this picture right here, it shows the lunar module its ascent prior to its docking with the command module. So this shows the lunar module in orbit of the moon while he was waiting on the other two. And then there's Earth. Look how tiny it looks. All right, we have learned a lot about the moon and the Apollo 11 mission, which I think is amazing. We learned so much information. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a little quiz to see if we really, really got all the information that we needed. So where did the astronauts splash down? So it couldn't have been NASA, right? On land, a lake or the ocean? Where do you think they splashed down? Let's talk a little bit about it. So I'm going to take the word splash right here. So I think splash would probably mean they were landing in some type of water, right? And I remember in the book that they talked about the Atlantic Ocean. So we're going to go with ocean. Let's see if we're right. Oh my gosh, we got it right. Good job. You guys are awesome. When did the Apollo 11 launch? So let's use a little bit of taking away some of these. So we know it couldn't have been May 4th, 1607, because that seems like it was a really, really long time ago, right? So we know it's not this one. July 4th, 1776. That sounds familiar. I think this is America's birthday. So I don't think the Apollo 11 launch happened on America's birthday. So it's either July 24th, 1969 or July 16th, 1969. Which one do you guys think? Awesome job, July 16th. And you remember when it said President Kennedy wanted to put a man on the moon before the 1960s were over. So we were right. Good job. What were the men on the Apollo 11 mission, or who were they? So let's see, Neil Armstrong, Thomas Jefferson, or Edwin Aldrin. Michael Collins, Aristotle, Edmund Aldrin. Michael Collins, Neil Armstrong, Edmund Aldrin. Michael Collins, Neil Armstrong, John Smith. Who do you guys think? I know some of those names look really familiar. You're right. Michael Collins, Neil Armstrong, and Edmund Aldrin. Good job. Number 4. What did the astronauts take back from the moon? So did they take moon dust and cheese, soil samples and rocks, hydrogen and helium gas, or the moon phases? Let's see, let's think. I think you're right. Soil samples and rocks. Good job, y'all. Good job. We're on a roll. Okay, last one. How long was the Apollo 11 mission? 1 week, 11 days, 8 days, or 1 month? 8 days. And you are right again. Awesome, awesome job. We got 100. I'm so proud of you guys. I cannot wait to read next week with you guys and do another quiz and just continue to be awesome. See you guys next time.